Hello friends, welcome to our channel. So in this video, we are going to discuss about how to write JDBC program with H2 database. And in this video, we will be concentrating on insert, delete and update query. So already in our previous video, we have discussed how to use H2 database and how to connect with H2 database. So all those things we have discussed in our previous video. So in case if you haven't watched that video, so the link is available in the description. So please watch how to use H2 database so that it will be easy to understand JDBC program with H2 database. Okay, friends, I think we can get into our first JDBC example with H2 database. So, first let me do one thing. So, first let me start my H2 database. I'm just launching my H2 database and I'm just recording what is my driver and what is my database URL. So, for example, my driver file is this one, as well as I will be recording my JDBC URL. Yes, we are going to use these two things in our program. So I'm just recording it. Now let me connect with my database. So username is Valan and I'm entering my password. So now I have connected with my database in server mode. So already in our previous video, we have discussed how to connect with server mode in H2 database. So already I have a table, I have an existing table, employee table. I'm going to reuse this table. So let me verify how many records in my table. Yes, in this table, I have two records, 101 and 102. So now what I am going to do, I am going to write a JDBC program. With the help of the JDBC program, I am going to insert one record into this table. So the first of all, the main thing is if I want to write a JDBC program, I need to or I have to include database jar file or database driver jar file into my project. So since I'm using H2 database, inside bin directory, I have my H2 database driver jar file. I have to include this jar file into my project. So first let me include this let me include this jar file into my project. Yes, this is a basic thing. If I want to write any JDBC program, I have to include that jar file into my project. So how I am including that jar file into the project is very simple step. I will be right clicking on the project. I have the last option properties. So I will be getting a new window. So in this window, I will select the fourth option, Java build path. So there I will select a library tab. So here I have an option to add external jar file. I will click add external jar and I need to browse my jar file. So already we know that. So our H2 database jar file will be inside bin directory. So I will browse that jar file and then I can say open, apply and OK. So now you can look at my project. After successful adding my jar file, I will be getting a reference library. Inside that, I have my jar file. So hope friends, it's clear. So finally, if I want to write any JDBC program, so this will be my first step. So based on my database, I have to include the jar file. Since I'm using a H2 database, I'm including H2 jar file. So now my basic thing is over. So now I can start write my JDBC program. To write a JDBC program, so we need to follow some steps. So the first step is I have to load the driver. So this will be our very first step. How to load the driver? So I have a predefined class called class. It has a method for name. Within double quote, I have to pass my driver file. So already I have recorded my driver file. So that I will be copy pasting. So this is our very first step, loading this driver file into the JVM. So previously we have added a jar file into our project, but right now I am loading this jar file into my JVM. So first step is over. So now the second step is make a connection with database. So now I'm going to make a connection with my database. So how I'm making a connection? I have a class called driver manager. You can look at driver manager. You can look at my import statement. Driver manager is a predefined class from SQL package. Right. So by using this driver manager class, I can invoke a static method get connection. So which is expecting me to pass three argument. One is database URL, another one is my username and the password. So already I have recorded my database URL. So I will be passing that URL as a string and I have to give my username and the password. So the username is Valan as per my database. The same way you can give your username password based on your database. So my password is Valan123. Finally, this driver manager dot get connection will make a connection with my database, and at the end or after successful connection, it will be returning a connection object. So I'm storing with my connection reference. So again, you can look at my import statement. Connection is a predefined interface from SQL package. Connection is a predefined interface from SQL package. So now my connection is over, and you can see I'm getting in each line I'm getting compile time error because of unhandled exception. So I need to handle this exception by using either try catch or simply I can go for throws. So by using throws exception, I'm handling all the exception. So now you can see the moment I added throws exception, you can see the error is gone. So now my second step is over. So now the third step is create a statement. this statement creation is nothing but it's a data flow or pipeline or channel between your Java program and the database. Database communication mean what? From Java to database or database to Java, I may pass some data, right? To transfer this data from Java to database or database to Java, we need to create a data flow or the pipeline or the channel. So that will called as statement. So now I have to create a statement. So before creating my statement, I'm just defining my SQL query in the form of string. My intention is what? I want to insert a record. Insert into my table name is employee underscore table. So this is my table name. So I will say my table name employee underscore table. I will be writing my complete insert query. Values within bracket. I have to pass three values. One is ID, another one is name, and the another one is salary. Yes, my table is have three column ID, name, salary. So that's why I'm using three question mark. So now I'm going to create a purport statement. You can see purport statement is a predefined interface from SQL package. I'm creating my purport statement. Since it's a interface, I cannot use new keyword. I will be creating my purport statement object by using a connection object. Connection dot purport statement. Within bracket, I have to pass my SQL query, which I have already created. So finally, this connection dot prepare statement will create a prepare statement for this particular query, and it will be returning prepare statement object. So I'm storing with the reference. So finally, you can look at my SQL query. Whatever I have created is it's nothing but a query template. I have created a query template, but I haven't specified what should be my ID, what should be my name, and what should be my salary. So these things, three things I haven't specified, which means I'm just creating a query template with the help of prepared statement. So now what I have to do, I have to set the values for each question mark. How I am setting the value, you can see prepared statement object dot set int. Yes, the first value is id, which is integer. So I will say question mark position. For the first question mark, I am going to set the id as 823. Same way, the second one is name, which is string. So I will be using set string method. And for the second position question mark, name is, let it be Alex. The same way I have to set the salary, which is also integer. And for the third question mark, salary is, let it be 5,000. So now I have created my query template with the help of report statement object, and I have set the values for each question mark. So my query is completely ready. So now I can execute my query. So the fourth step is executing query. Execute the query. right now my intention is what? I want to execute the insert query. So how I will be executing the query? By using report statement object, I can call a method execute update. You can look at the execute update method prototype. It is returning integer value, nothing but number of rows affected because of this query. So I can capture with one integer value, sorry, integer variable. If the query is executed successfully, so then it will be returning a non-zero value, nothing but number of rows affected because of this query. Since we are executing a insert query, nothing but only one row will get insert, which means one row is affected. So which means if the query is executed successfully, the value of n will be 1. Nothing but one row inserted. If something is wrong in this query, then it will be returning 0. So finally, by using this n value, I can understand whether my query executed successfully or not. So let me write that statement. I will say if n equal to 1, then I will say system.out.println record inserted. Else I will say record not inserted. So now all the things has done. So the final step is closing. So I need to close my report statement as well as I have to close my connection. I'm closing both. So that's it. So now our JDBC program is ready to insert a record into my database. Now let us run this code and we'll check whether our record is inserting successfully or not. So let me run this code. Okay. You can look at my output. It is saying that record inserted. So which means our code and query is executing successfully. So let me confirm with my database also whether this 823 or Alex record is inserted or not. Let me go and check my database. I will be running my select query once again. You can look at my record. One new record is added, nothing but 823 Alex record. Hope friends we are clear about how to write JDBC program with H2 database. So right now we have executed insert query. The same way you can execute delete query and update query. For each and every JDBC program, so these steps are common. Loading driver, making connection, creating statement, executing the query and closing report statement as well as connection. For each and every JDBC program, so these steps are common. The one and only different is your query will be the different. So right now we have executed insert query. Let me change my query. Just assume that I want to delete a record. So I will say delete from my table name is employee underscore table. So where I want to delete one record by using employee ID. You can look at my table. As per my table, the ID column name is EID. So that's why I'm using EID in my SQL query. So now I have changed my query. I'm deleting one record by using employee ID. So as per this query, we need to set only one value, nothing but ID, which means the remaining things not required. I can delete the remaining things. Let us assume that I want to delete the same record which we have inserted earlier. So I'm going to delete 823 record. So you can look at my code. I have changed only the query part and the setter part. The remaining loading driver, making connection, or creating statement, I'm not changing anything. Only this query I will be changing. And same way, if the query is executed successfully, then it will be returning number of rows affected. Because of this query, how many records will get deleted? Only one record, nothing but 823. So that I can store with my n variable, and I will be writing if n equal to 1, then I will say a record deleted. Else I will say a record not deleted. So now I saved my code. Let me run this program once again and will observe whether it is executing my delete query or not. You can see it's saying record is deleted. Let me confirm with my database also. You can see it is displaying only two records now. So the 823 record is deleted successfully. So hope friends we are clear how to write JDBC program for insert query and delete query. So now the last one, we'll see how to update the record. I'm just writing my update query. Update table name set e-salary. Let us assume that I want to update or I want to change the salary of one record by using ID. So now how many question mark there? I have a first question mark for the new salary because I'm trying to update a salary, and the second question mark is for which employee ID I want to update the salary. So let me take one existing record. Let us take 101 record. You can see 101 record salary is right now it is 2000. Right now the salary is 2000. So now I want to change the salary as 5000. So now I will be setting my value for the first question mark, nothing but the new salary. You can see my query. The very first question mark is for the new salary. My intention is I want to change 101 record salary as 5000. I'm making as 5000. The same way, second question mark, I have to set my ID. For which record I want to change the salary? I want to change the salary of 101. Again, same way, this execute update method will be returning the number of rows updated for because of this update query. So right now we are updating only one record. So I will say if n equal to 1, I will say record updated. Else I will say record not updated. And the remaining thing is same. I am closing my report statement and connection. Now let us run this update query and we'll observe our output whether we are getting success message or failure message. You can look at my output. It is saying that record updated. So now let me go and check with my table and confirm it. Right now you can see 101 salary is 2000. As per our update query, the 101 salary should become 5000. You can see 101 salary become 5000. So finally, by using execute update method, so this point is more important, friends. So by using execute update method, I can execute insert query, delete query, as well as update query. Hope friends, we are clear about how to write a JDBC program with or by using H2 database. And in this video, we have discussed about insert, delete, and update query with the help of execute update method. In our next video, so we will be discussing how to write select query via JDBC program. So thanks friends for watching this video. If you like this video, so please subscribe and click on the bell symbol so that as soon as I upload the new video, you will be getting the notification. Also, you can share it with your friends.